And welcome back to Court 1 at the AIS Indoor Arena, where we are getting ready for the final game in this World Boccia Challenger event in Australia's capital city, Canberra. We have had 6 days, I think, of competition. My name is Catherine Periak, and I'm incredibly fortunate to be joined again by former national coach Ken Halliday. He was in Paris not that long ago, about 12 months ago, with our Australian team that we can see here. So very familiar with the BC3 pairs. And this is the final match, Ken. What can we look forward to, and who are our players?
Yeah, so for Australia, thank you, Catherine. My pleasure to be with you in this commentary for this final match. Excuse me, for Australia, as was called, we have Dan Michel with his ramp operator Ash Madden, and Jamison Leeson with her ramp operator Jasmine Hayden. So I've had the very great pleasure of coaching these players for the last 10 years, around about 10 years. Internationally, we've been on many trips overseas, and I just can't speak highly enough of the dedication that they've put into their training and their games to be able to get to the level of competition.
Please go ahead and have a warm-up like you've never had in this nation's capital, Australia's Canberra.
So Dan and Jamison as a pairs team are ranked number 2 in the world, and today they're up against the Indian pairs team of Anjali and NJ. Now their world ranking is only 21, but they've come a long way in the last couple of years to improve their game, and this proves it because they've made it to the gold medal match in this competition.
And they were only ranked 4 in the teams coming in, I think, based on their
in this competition.
Numbers,
they were the 4th seed, so they've done well. They've beat the number 2 and the number 3 seeds in this competition to make it to the final.
Definitely a team on the rise towards Los Angeles 2028 and the Paralympic Games there. So these are the BC3s, the only class that play with the ramps.
That's correct, yeah. So Australia's just finished their warm-up. So in the call room before they come out onto the match, the referee will do a coin toss, and whoever wins the toss chooses whether they're going to play red or blue. Whoever loses the coin toss decides whether they do the first warm-up or the second warm-up. So most teams will choose to do the second warm-up because they get to see where the other team practices where they place their jack.
So Australia playing with the red balls this time. They will place the first jack. And will that be Dan, is he the captain today?
Yeah, he is, but it goes in order of, from as we're looking at the players from right to left. So there's 4 ends played, as usual in a boccia game. The only exception to that is the BC1-2 teams games, where you have 3 players on each team, and they have 6, so there's 6 athletes on the court, so they play 6 ends. But in this game there'll be 4 ends, so each athlete gets to play the jack once. Red always starts, so the player in the number 2 box is the first one to play the jack.
And although we're focused on this match here on Court 1, and that's where the camera will be following, on the court beside them is the bronze medal match between Spain and Singapore in this BC3 pairs.
Yeah, they've both played very well in this competition. I did see the semi-final, or the 2 semi-final matches in the lead up to these finals, and they were both very close games.
And Ken, could you tell us a little bit about the ramps that the athletes, there are very strict rules governing these?
There are in the size of the ramps, so they have an equipment check before the competition begins, and they have to put all the extensions on the ramp and extend everything that can be extended, and they lay it down in the box. So you can see the boxes that they're playing in now, which is 2.5 metres by 1 metre. So the ramp has to be laid down in that box with all the extensions on it. It has to fit into that box. So there is a restriction as to the size of it, but there is not very many rules or restrictions into how the ramp can be made. They're made out of different materials. Most of them are timber. Dan and Jamison's ramps were custom made here in Australia, whereas the ramps you can see there that the Indian players are using, they are Korean ramps made by Victory Sports in Korea. Probably the most popular ramp used in international BC3 competition.
So if you were just getting started as a BC3 player, you could purchase an off-the-rack or off-the-shelf, so to speak, ramp, couldn't you, Ken?
Yeah, I get asked all the time what ramp I would recommend new players to buy, and I will usually recommend the Victory ramps that are made in Korea. They're not cheap, as a lot of sports equipment isn't cheap these days, but it's very worthwhile spending the money to get a decent ramp to be able to play to the best of your ability.
And the athletes have their own balls, but as a team they will have consulted each other and worked together to build a complete set, won't they?
This time of the day, it's time to play Boccia!
Okay, so the game's just about to start. Yeah, and with the balls, they will choose their best 3 balls out of their set of 6 to play in the pairs, but they can only use 1 jack, so it has to be just 1 jack between the 2 of them. They can't use their own jack, so they will choose whose jack to play with. It would usually either be Dan or Jamison's jack that they're playing with. So Dan's gone short and wide, about a 3 metre length, and just under a metre from the sideline. Very popular jack position because the red players will normally play the ball to the left-hand side, to their left-hand side of the court, to disadvantage the blue player who is in the end box. They have to get the angle to get across there. Yeah, so Dan had first ball perfectly on, which you would expect at this level, but not always easy to do, but he's done that nicely.
And I cannot overemphasise that it looks easy when these athletes are doing this, but we played a fun match yesterday and it is exceptionally difficult. I don't think any of us could get the ball anywhere near the jack.
Yeah, it takes a lot of practice. Many hours of on-court training, and with the BC3 athletes, the ramp players, they spend hours and hours doing what we call calibration, which is working out where they have to put the balls on the ramp to get them to go to whatever distance they need them to go to. But in this instance, you can see that NJ is doing a knockout shot here to separate the red ball from the jack. So he's gone for the double extension, put the ball right up the top of the double extension, and it's probably his hardest ball in his set to push the red ball away. Well, didn't move very much at all.
It was on target.
Interesting, but just where it hit the ball then just didn't have the maximum impact that he would have liked to have got separation there. So now we can hear the Indian players communicating, working out who has the best shot and what shot they're going to go for. Yeah, so they've decided that NJ will go again because he has the best shot at it. With the selection of who plays the ball, once the jack is played and the first ball, the first ball has to be played by the person who plays the jack, but after that, the captain will decide who plays each ball from there on in. And it's a good idea for one player not to use all their balls and just leave the other player with the remaining balls. So he's elected to push that blue ball in on the jack, and he's done that very well. He probably would have liked the ball that he used to stay there behind the ball that he pushed in, just to block it a bit more, but it rolled slightly to the right.
We saw the referee show the red side of the paddle. That indicates that blue is closest and red will play.
Yeah.
It's always the player that is furthest away from the jack that plays, unlike lawn bowls where alternating turns.
That's right.
Until we get to the end when all the balls have been played by one team. The athletes giving significant and detailed instructions to their ramp operators.
Yep, and as we know, the ramp operator, once the end starts, the ramp operator is not allowed to turn around to look at the court and cannot communicate with the player. It has to be one-way communication from the player to the ramp operator. And the ramp operator also can't do anything without being told to do it by the player. So Jamison's going from the knockout.
It'd have been nice if that had just sat there. It thought about it.
It did. It just.
We'll see that one again. We'll see it paused and thought, will I keep rolling or not?
Yeah, I thought it was going to stay in front of the jack there for a minute. We've got a replay here of that, which is going to show us exactly. Yeah, I thought it was going to stay there, but being a hard ball, they do tend to keep rolling with the momentum.
So it will be the Indian team to play now.
No, it's...
oh no? They've called the blue closer.
Yeah.
I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, which Australia wouldn't be too upset about, because when the jack's fairly open as it is, you would want to be the next to play the ball onto the jack. So they'd probably be happy that that red ball did. Right, had it have stayed in front of the jack, they would have been really happy about that, but the fact that it started rolling, they'll be happy that it rolled further away than what the closest blue ball is.
So Dan to take the shot.
Try and draw it through those balls onto the jack. Nicely done.
Beautifully placed.
Yeah. Very well done to get through between those other blocking balls to get a nice hold right on the jack.
And that's hours and hours of practice.
Yep.
Working with
Here's a replay of that.
Operator.
Yeah, straight through the middle, perfect shot.
So Australia's played 3 balls in this first end, India 2.
So it looks like Anjali will play the next ball, and she will, I would say, go for the double extension in her hardest ball to get separation between that jack and the red ball that Dan just put on there.
And she uses the bottom of the ramp up to help her sight.
Yeah,
which I've noticed a couple do.
Yeah, it's a personal preference as to what the best way to line up. It's unusual to leave that extension on the ramp when she's lining up as well, but she must find that easier to look down. It's like looking down like a rifle, where you line up the
sights. Yes.
The sights, yeah. She does it very well though. She has a very good line-up. Here she goes. Oh, there again. That blue nearly stayed there, but being a hard ball, it rolled away again.
Made some space though.
Yeah, opened up the gap between the red ball and the jack. And now they'll discuss who's got the best shot. And that's usually what the communication is, that they'll ask, how much of the jack can you see, or are you blocked, or do you have a shot at it, and they'll decide who's the best place to play the next ball.
So the athletes and all their equipment must remain in their box, but it is important to note that, for example, Ajay's ramp, it's not touching the ground.
That's right.
So it's allowed to be in the position it is. Where it touches the ground has to be inside the white line.
Yep. Yeah, so everything has to be inside that box at the point of release. So he's doing that. Not too bad, yeah.
Lovely shot.
Maybe just a fraction too hard. It's just hit the jack and just bounced a little bit to the right. He would have liked that to have stayed on the front of the jack. But still a good shot. So in here, Dan and Jam now communicating.
Even try and pop the jack back a bit too. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so they have great communication between the two of them. They'll talk about who's got the best shot, what they want to achieve with this next shot. And like most good players, they'll be thinking more than one shot ahead.
And you can see their calibration sheets attached to different parts of the chairs.
Yep.
So they're and ready when they need them.
It looks like Dan's going to remove that blue ball away from the side of the jack by the look of it. Yeah, did it
And
perfectly.
nailed it.
Yeah. Well done. There again, he got through all those blocking balls to achieve that shot. So now with India only having 2 balls to play, this next shot is pretty crucial to try and get a blue ball on that jack.
Just under 2 minutes remaining for India for their 2 balls.
एक बॉल में अगर सही प्लेस नहीं भी हुआ तो मतलब आगे पीछे रख के हिट कर लें.
So in here, NJ giving instructions there to Anjali, what he wants her to do. This is where all those many hours of calibrating come in, to know exactly where to put this particular ball on the ramp to get it to go that distance. Oh, just bounced off the red ball.
Or do we just go in?
Called blue is the closest.
Yeah,
Off the blue or off the red?
Off the sticky.
You reckon?
Yeah. More over? Yeah, I've got plenty.
Alright, no worries. The red can get you there too if that's easier.
No, I can't get the wheel.
so in here, Dan and Jam deciding which sounds like Jamison's going to do a ricochet shot, and they were deciding which was the best ball to ricochet off.
Do you want to get Bernie or Steve? Which one do you trust more for this?
I mean, Steve rolled pretty good over here. I've got a bit of leeway. Unless you really want to honest, go Bernie.
Whichever you feel better about, because it's my shot.
About a quarter of a ball in the tights.
Yes, we
On the left. Steve? Steve, I'm thinking 9-4. 5. 9. 10.
It's going to be the bounce off the blue, yeah.
Okay. 10, Steve.
Yep, so now they're discussing where to put it on the ramp to get it to go the required distance. It's also a bit more difficult when you're ricocheting, because you've got to allow for the ball to slow down when it hits the ball that they're ricocheting off. Oh yeah, great.
And I think I heard Dan actually call shot because it was on its way. He had already predicted.
He knew where it was going.
1 minute.
So India with 1 ball, Australia with 1 ball in the first end. There will be 4 ends.
Oh, not bad.
The blue called as... Oh, no, that's
Yeah.
red because blue have done all of their shots.
They're out of balls now, so it's red to go. But
Which one do you think?
so they've only got 1 ball left, which looks like, Jamison's the only one with the ball left. So red are holding 1 now, so with this shot they'll try and move one of those blue balls and hopefully
1 minute.
get another point in there. So they've got 1 minute to go to play this last ball.
Yep. Well, that's probably we go 10?
I don't think we need more than
9?
4.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright.
There won't be much.
Okay, they've made their decision.
30 seconds.
Oh, trying to push that outside red up.
Yeah.
Not quite
Go
enough.
away. End the finish.
So 1 to red at the end of that end.
So Australia takes the first point in this BC3 pairs gold medal match. Australia versus India. They'll have 1 minute between the ends. The coaches can come down and communicate with their team. The coaches are sitting at the opposite end to the players, so an excellent view.
Yep, and they're not allowed to communicate during the end. So this is their opportunity now to speak to the players, talk about what may have gone right in that last end or what they may have done better, and then discuss what they're going to do in the next end. So Luke Kelly is the coach of the Australian team now, taken over from me, and he's doing a great job.
And I know you're mentoring him, Ken, so he's incredibly fortunate to be able to take your knowledge. And I was also reflecting on that with Dan being the more experienced player than Jam, although Jam's now had considerable experience herself. But in the early days, it would have been invaluable, wouldn't it, Ken?
Oh, definitely.
And Dan to be able to support Jam and help her.
Yeah, and he did it so well. And I refer to Jam as she's a bit like a sponge. She takes all the information in and really processes it and listens to everything that she's told. She's an easy athlete to coach. And Dan's done a great job in teaching her everything that he's learnt over the years.
So India's come right over this side with a slightly longer jack.
Yeah, they've got about 4 metres or just over 4 metres straight out. And about 1 metre in from the sideline. So now Anjali will try and get her first ball on the jack. And when we say on the jack, it means, yep, that's pretty good.
Exactly that.
Yep. Touching or very close to the jack and preferably blocking the opposition.
A bit tricky in these teams and pairs matches to block when the players are more spread out.
Yeah, in the individual you only got to block 1 player, but where you've got pairs, so that ball is pretty much blocking Dan, but Jam can see quite a bit of the jack, so she would be the one to take this shot to move that blue ball away from the jack. She may try a knockout to hold, which is to push the blue ball away and get her red ball to stay there. Oh no, just hit it on the wrong side.
So that would be in the lining up, wasn't quite...
Either lining up, or sometimes the nature of these balls, they don't go perfectly straight every time. So it may have turned slightly to the left. She has moved the blue ball now though, that Dan now has a shot at the jack.
So Australia will take their second shot in the second end. And once again, even though it looks like Dan's ramp is way over, it's not touching the ground.
No.
So that's perfectly permitted.
So yeah, Dan can move outside the box to line up the ramp, but then he has to move back into the box to push the ball off. Everything has to be in that box at the time of releasing the ball. Yeah, nicely done. Yeah. Not easy to do that because you haven't got much room for error.
No, you don't want to hit the jack too hard, I'd imagine. And
No, you just want to touch it to move it away from that blue ball, and that's exactly what he did. Got a replay here of it. Yeah.
the blue ball is also blocked a little bit now, isn't it? So it'll be harder to push it back on.
Yeah, so this is what we say that it's formed a wing. So the jack and the blue ball form a wing that the red ball sits into. So now for India to try and move that red ball, it's difficult because it would be very difficult to push it through between the jack and the blue ball. Their option may be to do what we call a jack clip. So just to clip the side of the jack to push it back behind their blue ball.
Oh yeah, that's a very narrow space.
It is, yeah. It's not an easy shot to play. And that's exactly, that's what he went for, but just didn't get enough of it.
Yeah.
क्या करें? मैं आगे हो जाएगा अब तो अब हो जाएगा.
So it looks like they've decided that he'll have another attempt at that, by the look of it.
Would that be common to try the same shot when you've just failed? Would you have learned something from that?
Yeah, he would have, yeah. I mean, he may have corrected his line up a bit, or maybe that part of the floor may be just slightly uneven to make his ball go slightly right, so he would make the adjustment for that now. But if they feel that's definitely the best shot to play, they will try it again, which is looks like what they are doing. Make sure that ball is placed precisely on the ramp. Yeah, it did it that time.
And he did it that time. Brilliant.
I think he's pushed it back to that red, which is probably not a bad thing. Yeah, it's going to be a measure. He's pushed it back behind the blue ball, but so that's in a position now where it would be blocking jam. I think Dan would have it would be open, so at this point both teams would be hoping that their ball is not the closest at this point, so they get the next shot. The referees measured the distance between the jack and the red ball, and now we'll check that with the blue, and the blue is closer, so it will be red to go.
As you said, that will make Australia happy.
Yep.
Nice open jack.
Still not an easy shot for Dan. He's got to get past those balls. They're not blocking, but they're very close to his line. And this is where also he has to work out, because that jack now has been pushed back. It's in a different position to what it was when they first started the end, so he has to work out how far that jack has moved back, and then also work out on the angle that he's on what the distance is from the front of his ramp to that ball. And this will test out whether he's done that or not. Yeah, not quite exactly, but he would have liked that to have rolled about another ball and a half, but perfect line.
So India with 3 balls remaining and Australia with 3 balls remaining in the second end of the BC3 pairs, the gold medal match here at the World Boccia Challenger in Canberra.
So in here, India communicating again, working out what their tactics are. So good that we've got that court mic that will pick up this communication. So you see that they're both preparing their shot, but that's an anticipation for, they've got this plan that one player will play this shot and then the other one will be lined up ready to play the next shot depending on what happens with this one.
So that looks like it's going to try and open it up.
Yep. Hit that red ball in front of the jack to move it. Unfortunately, it's pushed it just back onto the jack, and they would have liked that to have gone to the side to open up the jack. That will be blue to play again.
He's got a little bit better sight, Ajaya, there.
Yeah,
would that be right?
Yeah, he has. Yeah, it's moved it just a little bit over, which has made it a bit easier for him. You can see his ramps move right over to the edge of the line to get his best angle to get through onto that jack. There again, he'll have to work out the distance again. It's not in a bad spot because they all know that that cross in the middle of the court is 5 metres from the throwing line, and that jack is pretty much the same level as the cross, so he would know that that's about 5 metres. And that's a length that all players will know how to draw to 5 metres, because in the event that they have to draw to the cross in a tiebreaker situation, or if the jack gets knocked out of court, the jack gets put on the cross. So 5 metres is a very popular length to calibrate the balls to. Decided to make a slight adjustment. Yeah, not bad. Yeah. Got the lengths right, just would have liked that to have been in front of the jack rather than alongside it, but they are holding, which is good at this stage in the end. With only a few balls to go, it's good to be holding.
Yeah, I was going to say, don't hit too far.
Australia do have 3 balls to play there.
Try and keep it in for later.
It's always hard to tell who's going to take the shot when they're both preparing. Yeah, Dan's going to take this shot. Maybe promote that red ball back onto the jack. He hasn't got a shot at removing that red and the blue ball. Oh.
Do you think that's what he intended?
Was
an option, but
not sure. He may have been that ball, and this can happen. That ball may have been blocking Jamison's line to the jack, so he may have decided to move that ball out of the way so she can get in there.
She has a nice open run, doesn't she?
Yeah, which is always a good option.
So that again is always that thinking ahead.
That's right.
and working with your teammates. 1 ball remaining for India, 2 for Australia. Australia to play.
So I think Jam's got a shot at that blue ball that's on the jack now. Yep, beautiful. Well done. So that would have been the plan.
To knock away the blue, yeah.
Dan didn't have a shot at that blue ball to move it away, so he decided to move the red ball that was blocking Jamison from being able to get to it and move it away. Great teamwork, as you said.
So blue India to play, which means Australia is holding the closest ball.
Yep. Yeah, so it's Anjali to play. She's the only one that has the ball left, and it's pretty much blocked. A couple of balls there in front of the jack. She may be a couple of options. One is just to try and draw down the side to get closer to the jack than those other balls, or maybe try a ricochet. Going for the double extension, which could mean she's trying to promote a ball up to the jack or knock a ball out.
Only 20 seconds remaining to take the shot.
10 seconds.
Yeah, tried to promote the blue ball. Unfortunately, that's unlucky. I don't know whether you would have seen that. Can we have a replay of that? Because the ball that pushed it then actually jumped up and landed on top of the ball that it pushed and stopped it from rolling. It happens occasionally, and it's a bit of bad luck. We might be able to see that in the replay. Yeah, jumped up, yeah, landed on top of the ball that pushed and stopped it from rolling.
So Dan has 1 shot left, I think. Is he the one with the ball? No, Jam has the ball for the final shot.
Let's just make it push the red. So maybe go A to A edge of it, probably A to A edge, somewhere there. Anticipating a tiny bit of right for Steve. And we'll play like maybe 6 metre pace. 6.5 metre pace maybe.
I'll go 11-8.
Yeah, sure.
Steve 11-8.
Great communication.
Great trust too. Trusting that Dan looked and got it right.
Yep.
Doesn't it?
And he knows what Jam's. Oh, look at that.
Look at that. That is teamwork. Wonderful communication and instruction from Dan.
And
superb execution.
One of the hardest shots to play, the ricochet, because you just got to hit that ball. You're bouncing off exactly right, and the exact right amount of pace. So Dan's asked for a measure by the look of it. He's very close for, I think, that 3rd point.
Both captains come forward.
Widen this slightly.
Oh yeah, they've agreed. I think there's going to be 3. Oh no, only 2.
2
there
red.
You go. Looks like 3 for me, isn't it?
And that
2
brings the score
done.
to 3-0 at the halfway point in the BC3 pairs. Final match, final gold medal match.
So you may have heard in their communication then Dan referring to hit A or A edge of the ball. So they have the, as you're looking at the ball, B is the middle of the ball, A is the left-hand side of the ball, and C is the right-hand side of the ball. So it just cuts down the time that you'd have to communicate. Instead of saying, just hit the left-hand side of the ball, he just says, hit A. And Jam knows exactly where to hit that ball that she's aiming for. So they've worked that out over the years.
And we see her wonderful shot again. Perfect. The way that you qualify for Paralympics and World Championships now places quite a priority on teams competition. Have I got that right?
That's right, yeah. It's mainly teams and pairs that qualify, individuals.
And then if the Australian 2 qualify as a pair, they can both compete in individual? Is that how it
If
works?
Australia qualify as a pair, these two don't have to play in the pairs. Australia has the option of putting whatever players they like in that pairs team. So it's the actual team that qualifies, and then it's up to Australia to choose what players they want. So the players can qualify in the individual competition on their own ranking.
Maybe a 7 then.
Can we go 7-1? I'm confident.
So Australia's gone for that same jack position that they did in the first end. So now it's up to Jamieson to get her first ball perfectly on. Yeah, just a little bit fast and a little bit to the right, just hit and bounced off.
And perfectly on means in front, doesn't it?
That's right, in front blocking the opposition, yeah. So unfortunately that has now set up a wing. You know, we talked about a wing, so Australia's actually set up a wing for India to go into, which Australia wouldn't be happy with. But just goes to show, even at this level, balls don't actually do exactly what you want them to do at times.
So India to take their first shot, 0-3 down. It's important that they look to score, although a very low scoring match. So with 6 balls, it's still anyone's game.
Yeah, definitely. There we go. Ooh, just a little bit hard. Just push the jack back. I think she would have liked the blue to have stayed on there. It's still closer than the red, so it's red's turn to go.
Back to Australia.
Yep,
Yeah.
so now there will be a bit of communication here now, working out who's got the best shot and what shot they're going to play. It looks like they've already decided that Dan's got the best shot. So he may try and... There was a bit of a gap there between the jack and the red ball, so Dan may choose to push this blue ball through.
Do you think the blue ball will fit through there? Between the red and the jack? Is
With
that
a
what you
bit
think?
of power behind it, it may go through. Oh no, it's not going for much power, so maybe you can see the whole jack. It's just got to go for a draw onto the jack. Oh no, it's decided to go for a jack clip to push the jack back behind the red. Interesting. So as you can see, there's quite a lot of options for each shot that you play. Choosing the right option is the thing.
Blue to play their second ball, India, with the blue balls.
Going by the look on Dan's face, I don't think that was what he wanted to do with that shot.
Not a poker face.
No, he wouldn't want to leave the jack open for blue to be able to get on.
फोर्थ से क्या करूँ किधर तक खेलने के लिए बोलो आप अपने साइड में प्लेस हो सकता है सेकंड बॉल
And Charlie and Ajay working well together to set up the next shot for India.
लाइन पे गया
Here we go, and nicely done.
Blocks Jack.
Yeah. Yep.
I'll get
It's gonna-
backside draw.
It's going to cut across to your side though.
Really?
Yeah. Alright.
Now, maybe you move the red one to the blue, then you go in, three baller, a bit expensive, but
It's either that or I, again, smash. I might then be able to push Steve up, but I don't know.
you hit the
Alright.
red. Hit
Yep.
the red. Top along. Top along.
Great communication there with Dan and Jam.
Long.
Save Steve.
I don't have Steve or Bernie.
Right. Top along. Yeah, do that.
So you can hear Dan saying top of the long, that means just the top of the long extension. Yep, that's what they wanted to do. And now that's opened it up for Dan.
So a two-pronged strategy again, though. This Jam sets it up, now Dan executes.
Yep.
And what will Dan be doing?
They want to move that blue ball away from the jack, so he'll go for the double extension hard ball to get separation. So he didn't have a shot at it before, that's why he got Jam to move the red ball out of the way.
Dan using the head pointer now.
Yep. Changed recently, there you go. He's used the mouth pointer for many years, but just recently decided to try the head pointer, just to save a little bit of time in the preparation for the shot, where his ramp operator Ash would have to, when they were all set up, she would have to pick up the mouth pointer and put it in his mouth, and then after the shot take it out of his mouth again. It's just all those little seconds that can make the difference at the end of the end. You know, you may need those.
And we have a measure.
2 seconds. Yep. Yeah, looks like it's red to go. Yep.
So India holding the jack. Australia have 2 balls remaining in this third end. India still with 4 to play.
So this is the crucial ball, this next ball. With Australia running out of balls, they really need to get a really good hold here. Yep, good job.
So 1 ball remaining for Australia. It will be India to play next. Competition in the bronze medal match continues on the court beside us between Spain and I've had a mental block.
Singapore.
Singapore. Thank you, Ken.
Yeah, it's a really
very tight match.
Very tight match. It looks like the score is 3-2 to Spain. And I'd say that's probably after 2 ends. Yep. After 2 ends, yeah. Spain are getting the ball to play in the third end. The jack.
India have worked together to decide the next series of shots. They have 4 balls remaining, so plenty of options.
Not quite sure what that was supposed to do.
It moved the blue balls forward, but so nothing about moving the red ones out of the way.
Well, they haven't got I don't think either of them have got a shot at that red that's on the jack. So maybe the idea then was to move a blue ball out of the way so as Anjali can have a shot at the red, but I don't think it worked. There was a bit of a gap there between 2 of the blue balls onto the jack, so may be able to go through there and push the jack back away from the red. Going for the double extension, so I think that may be the shot.
It's going to be a forceful one.
Oh no, just
Interesting.
split up those blocking balls. That may have opened the jack now. So 2 balls remaining. I think they've got 1 each, which is not a bad situation to be in, that they've both have the option of playing.
So there's a space between those 2 red, isn't there?
Yeah.
About 1.5 minutes for the 2 balls.
अंदर वो फास्ट मिनट ये मेरे पास 1 minute.
1 minute remaining for India.
Not the outcome they wanted there.
No, moved the red ball, but didn't move it very far.
So just under a minute for the final ball to be played for India. Time runs while they're setting up.
Yep.
30 seconds.
Now 30 seconds remaining. Australia still has 1 ball to play. Which Jamieson has. Cutting it fine. Oh yeah, great shot.
With 10 seconds remaining, so all sorts of pressure on you, he's just slotted it right up there.
Yep.
And it's also blocking as well, isn't it?
That's right, yeah. Great shot. Show you a replay of that. Yep, beautiful. So now Jamieson has the last ball for Australia. I think the shot here will be for her to go hard onto that blue that's sitting on the jack to push the jack back to the red ball that's behind it. See if I'm right. Yep, there you go.
And has she achieved it?
She has.
And that blue is far enough away. Ah,
Yep.
yes, it is. We
1
can
red.
see, yeah.
1 red.
So Australia inch ahead at the end of the 3rd round. 1 end remaining. Another great shot from
Yeah.
Jamieson Leeson in the replay.
And even that, yeah, the replay of it, great. And even that, it looks simple, but just to put the right amount of pace on it, to move that jack away from the blue and back onto the red. Really well done.
लगता है आप ठीक है
I could say at this point I taught them everything they know, but, but I won't say that. I taught them a lot of the basics at the start, but they're both of the calibre of athlete that they learn as much as they can. They watch games, they try things all the time to improve their game.
So even at their high level, where they're Paralympic medalists, they're still always seeking to improve, aren't they?
Always, yep, always trying to find that extra 1% to improve their game. And that's why Dan has changed his from a mouth pointer to a ramp, to a head pointer. Just trying to find that 1% to improve the time that they have in the game.
So Ajaya will put the ramp out for the jack out for India once his ramp is set.
So they're going to go for a similar jack position as they did in the second end. Oh no, it's gone longer. There you go. It's gone just past the 5 metres. So they're trying something different, which is quite often a good tactic, because if you lose your end, like they lost their last jack end, only by they lost it by 2, yeah. So then quite often the option then is to put the jack in a different position for their next jack end.
And with a deficit of 4 points in the final end,
Yep,
it's time to try some new things.
Yep, they need points. Here we go with this crucial first ball. Pretty good, it's blocking. Probably about just over a ball width short of the jack, but much better for it to be in front than alongside or behind. So now Dan and Jam will decide who's got the best shot at moving that. Again, they're both lining up. Yeah, it looks like Jamison's going to take the shot. She can probably see a little bit more of the jack than Dan can, so if she pushes that blue ball back, it will hit the left-hand side of the jack as she's looking at it to move it away. Yep, well done.
Opens it right up.
Yep. So now Dan is already lined up, ready to go. He'll just have to do a slight final adjustment because the jack did move a little bit. So now again, to work out the calibration as to how far away that jack is. So again, he'll know that it's just over 5 metres straight out because it's just past the cross, and then he has to work out the angle from where he's playing from box 2. That will increase the length by maybe 30-40 centimetres.
Ash carefully places the ball.
Perfect.
And a wonderful shot. Down Michelle.
Again, they make it look so easy, but the amount of hours it takes to be able to do it, play a shot like that.
So in the final end of this gold medal match, Australia leading 4-0. Plenty of balls to play. India still have 5 and they will take the next shot. Australia has 4 remaining.
There's not much communication going on between the two Indian players this time, so they obviously know exactly what needs to be done and who's got the best angle to try and move that red ball away from the jack.
And would Dan and Jam be really focused on what the Indians are doing now, or would they be deliberately not focused on what the Indians are doing?
Yeah, they'd be sort of chilling out a bit, try and not be overthinking things, just waiting for this shot to happen, maybe working out what the options will be if they get separation, if that red ball hadn't have stayed closer, it would have been red to go, so they would have been working out what the distance was again.
So India to play again with the blue balls.
Yep, so they did a good job of moving that red ball away, but not too far, so as it stays closer to the jack, so they get the next shot. It's exactly what they would have wanted to do. Here we go with the crucial shot, and just slightly hard and
off.
Just bounced off the right hand side.
Keeps the jack open, doesn't it?
Yep, it's not what they want at this point.
You going straight more or less?
Yeah, on B.
B?
Yeah.
And you go, why don't you get C side of B, I reckon?
Okay.
Like last time, just right.
Yeah, well, I've got Steve here.
No, but Steve went a bit left for the second, slightly. Okay, slightly C and B. Just over 6 to
11-3.
Yeah. You're 11
Oh,
5.
one?
And
Oh,
there's no,
yeah.
there's no risk.
11-5. Steve.
Again, we can hear the communication between Dan and Jam. Oh yeah, great shot.
Wonderful ball.
वैसे तो सामने से ब्लॉक है पूरा उठा ले पूरा ध्यान रख नीचे रख और आगे चल पूरा आगे लाइन हाँ उठा ले और आपने और डबल टॉप दिखाए हो रहा उठा लो
And check the measure, check the line up again.
एकदम हल्का डबल टॉप
The Indians using a different method of lining up to the Australians. Either one is fine.
Whatever suits, whatever is best for your ability.
So it looks like going for some separation again.
Yep. Hardest ball on top of the double extension.
1 minute.
Just adjusting the mouth pointer a bit to make so he can reach it. There you go. Oh, just skimmed it. Got a bit of separation there, but the red ball is still holding, I would say. Yep. Blue to go.
2 balls remaining. They're 4-0 down, India. Critical balls. Final end of the gold medal match.
बॉक्स वो थोड़ा सा आगे बढ़ के वहीं रुक जाएगा
I'd say
थोड़ा सा और जो करना है
the shot here would be to try and promote that blue ball between the 2 red balls back onto the jack. Not easy, because I don't think he's got a clear shot through.
Here it comes.
Yeah, that's what he tried. Oh, well done.
And he has, hasn't he? Knocked the red
Yeah,
away from the jack.
well done. Good shot.
We'll see in the replay what a small space that was. He slotted through.
Yeah, a little bit safe, a little bit less than a second as well. See the blue. See, as you go.
And finish.
Yeah, nicely done. So there wasn't a gap to get through there, but he managed to push the red ball away and squeeze through. Well done. So now Jamison will have an attempt to separate those blue balls from the jack using her double extension and her hardest ball. Got separation. So now can blue still holding, so now it'll be up to Dan to try and get something in there.
So Australia has 2 balls remaining. India 1. We're in the 4th and final end of the BC3 pairs gold medal match.
Dan's moved right to the back of his box to get the line up right. Move the jack, move the ramp back about a foot from the front line to get a better angle. My guess here is that he's going to hit the red ball on his left to promote it onto the jack. Unless he's got to draw up the side, but I wouldn't think he'd be able to get through there. No, it's going to be promoting the red ball, yeah, which he did.
And he did. Each team has 1 ball to finish, assuming nothing goes awry.
No penalties. And that's another thing that shows the quality of this match and these players, that no penalties, which is a great attribute to the ramp operators, because it's the ramp operators that can quite often give away a penalty by leaving something outside the box, or the ramp's just touching the line, or even their foot. If their foot is touching the line, that will give away a penalty. So
They're a critical part of the team, aren't they?
They are.
They're not just sort of an add-on. Do they receive a medal?
they do. Yeah, they brought that in some years ago now. Back when I was playing, the ramp operators didn't get medals, but now they've brought that in, and I think it's fair enough, because the ramp operator has an integral part of the team, and has to follow instructions and do what they need to do effectively without rushing.
Last ball for India.
Oh yeah, good try. Unfortunately, didn't move the red ball far enough away, so now Australia will throw off their last ball. There's no need to play their last ball. They're holding one.
Very learning.
So that means they choose not to take their final shot.
Yeah.
We'll get the score from the referee.
On red for this end, on red. Now the referee will give the score for the match, 5 to red.
So 5 to red. A win to the Australian team of Dan Michelle and Jamison Leeson over the Indian team. A great effort by the Indian team to make this final. They were the 4th ranked team coming in. They fought their way through the qualifying rounds and semi-finals to make the gold medal match, and we'll finish with a silver medal.
Yeah.
And some valuable ranking points, I'm sure, Ken.
Yeah, definitely.
For
And
their
they've played really well. You know, they pushed Australia all the way through that game, which is commendable.
And on the other court, the game for the bronze medal match. We're stretching our eyes between Spain and Singapore.
Yeah, it looks like Spain have gone ahead there. They're now leading 7-2 by the look of it, going into the final end.
So thank you very much for joining all our live stream. We have live streamed the Court 1 match of every round here at the World Boccia Challenger in Canberra. You can go back onto YouTube and watch any of the matches again and again, and as Ken has said, there's a lot of valuable coaching feedback in there and valuable learning opportunities if you're brand new to boccia or even an experienced boccia player. Please enjoy this. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you, Ken Halliday, for wonderful and informed comments. We all learn so much when we work with Ken. My name's Catherine Periak. Thank you to World Boccia. Thank you to Boccia Australia. And it's been a pleasure to bring you all the matches of the World Boccia Challenger Canberra 2025.